Former NFL All-Pro defensive tackle Reggie White was the dominant defensive lineman of the 90s. Beyond football, Reggie was a man of faith, conviction, and commitment. He was that rare combination of superb athlete, dedicated counselor, and prime role model. He was never afraid to share his deepest feelings with the world. He's gone now, passing on suddenly in 2004. It's said that a good measure of someone's positive effect on the lives around them is what their friends and associates have to say after they're gone. In Reggie's case, they can't say enough.
Well, I grew up, watching Reggie, and the thing everybody says about him, he was a great football player, but he was a great man, and he was a great man of God. And I had the opportunity to meet him actually when I was in high school. He was preaching at a church up in Charlotte, North Carolina, and I got a chance to meet him. And you could just feel the Lord off of him as he, you could feel how much he loved Jesus, and I think that's the most important thing about him.
What a great human being. You would have loved to play with him. The main thing about him is the type of person he was. He could do the best Muhammad Ali.
He did Bill Cosby a lot. Oh, that was hilarious. He used to, Jeremy and Jacolia, would you like a bowl of Jell-O pudding?
Everybody that knew him or saw him was impacted by his life. If you can do that through your life, change one person's life in a positive way, you know that the Lord is up there smiling at you, and that's one thing Reggie did.
He was unbelievable. He, by far the best defensive player I've ever seen play the game, and that's hands down. We played a lot of games against him when he was in Philadelphia, and then moved on to Green Bay, and a lot of big games, and he always showed his presence. But I think most of all was, after the games, us huddling up. I remember in Dallas one year, we were in the middle of the Star. After the game was over with, we had beaten them by by 2 or 3 touchdowns, and he's in the middle of the Star waiting for everybody to come and gather around the Star and hold hands and say our prayer and give our thanks. And that's what you think about Reggie. You just think of a guy who had this magnetism to him, and God was using him in every way, and guys are drawn to him because of that.
Off the field, he was an ambassador for the game. He was an ambassador for his faith. He was instrumental in what family meant. I mean, he was all the good things you like in life, and when you find that in a person, that becomes much more admirable than the number of sacks he made.
He was the minister of defense. He was a guy that I think every kid wanted to emulate, but he was a guy that had the hump move that you could not stop. No matter what you did, you could not stop that move. You would see him tossing guys all over the place, because you were going up against this grown man. You just like one of his children. He was just throwing you around the place. And I can remember that scene on the field in Green Bay, him just hip tossing him all over the place. He didn't give up a sack, but he got flung around like a rag doll all day long.
Reggie White was a giant of a man and a giant of a person. When you talk about a guy that believes in what he's doing, stands up for what he believes in, a man of conviction. Really, my relationship with Chris Carter and knowing of Reggie White, it was a first experience for me to recognize a guy that was a Christian, but a strong man. I mean, you can be a strong man, you can be a warrior and still be a man of God. And so Reggie had a big impact on myself and on a lot of people.
Everybody that came in contact with Reggie felt like they were an immediate friend. And I think that's why the emotion carries over significantly.
His football career is at the top, but it reflects not even a piece of the type of guy he was off the field. He was a man who a lot of younger guys could look up to. He didn't press anything upon you. He always was there to help you. And I think he had more impact off the field and in the locker room and around guys than he did on the field.
In memory of a man of great impact, Reggie White, 1992 Bart Starr Award.
They called him the Minister of Defense, and it wasn't just because of his great play on the football field.
he's somebody that epitomized standing for God and trying to be the best man he could be. And in this world, in this occupation, it's very tough to have the courage to stand. And he did that, and I'm so honored to have a chance to have met him. I actually had a chance to shake his hand. Actually had a chance to block him once or twice, and it was one of the toughest blocks I ever had in my career. But he's just a great man, and I'm sorry that he's gone.